Hi, where is your Chianti section? Where's your Chianti? I love the Chianti, the ones from Italy, from Tuscany. I don't like the American Chianti. Do you want Chianti? Chianti. There's so much, there's a huge country of Italy, and everybody always thinks Chianti is a type of wine, and yet it's a region. And we can fix that, and there's other ways than drinking just a Chianti, especially if you like the grape that's in there. Hi, I'm Larry Baker. I am a certified level 2 sommelier and senior wine and spirit specialist here at ABC Fine Wines and Spirits in North Miami Beach, Florida. I think since Hannibal Lecter did that wonderful, Anthony Hopkins did I Want Some Fava Bean and a nice Chianti, or the old straw basket Chianti, people think Chianti is a wine. And with Italy from north to south, the central parts, the northwest, there's so many great, but let's say you just wanted to be in Tuscany, where the Chianti region is. The main grape is a grape called Sangiovese. And maybe you don't even like the flavor profile of Sangiovese, because a Chianti, the region of Chianti in Tuscany, using mostly Sangiovese, a DOCG Chianti region has a law that only requires that 70% of that Chianti be Sangiovese, the grape that you're looking for, or the taste that you're looking for when you ask for a Chianti. And the other 30% can be a mixture of the grapes. They used to allow white grapes of Trebbiano Malvasia, but I don't believe they do that anymore. A Chianti Classico, signified by a black rooster on the labels, like I have one here. This is Paggiarino, Piero, brother and sister Piero and Benedetta Lanza, in the town of Rada in Chianti. You see the black rooster here on the bottle? That's a Chianti Classico, and therefore that requires a minimum of 85% Sangiovese by law. 15% can be other approved grapes. Sometimes they put Cabernet Sauvignon. Some Chianti producers put Canaiolo. This is 100% Sangiovese organic, and it's a Chianti Classico made in the town of Rada and Chianti. But let's say you were just looking for Sangiovese, you would always keep asking for a Chianti and probably bypass the wine that is not a grape, and it's very confusing. This is La Colonica, the winery. They're located in the town of Cortona, where Under the Tuscan Sun was done. Now this is Vino Nobile. Vino Nobile di Montepulciano. That's the noble wine of kings from the town of Montepulciano in Tuscany. So there is also a grape from Abruzzo, which gets people confused, called Montepulciano di Abruzzo. The Montepulciano, the grape, which is not what you're looking for if you're asking for a Chianti, from Abruzzo, or the noble wine of kings, the Vino Nobile di Montepulciano, the city of Montepulciano, okay? And that's mostly, if not 100% Sangiovese, there might be a little Canaiolo, depending. It's a DOCG area that is there. You can get also a Rosso, just like with Chianti and Chianti Classico, you can get a Rosso di Montepulciano, which again, you would overpass that, but maybe that would be the grape you're looking for, Sangiovese, and that's what you're gonna get in the town of Montepulciano. Maybe you would overlook this wine, which is made by Fernando Catani, the same person from La Colonica in the town of Cortona. This is all estate bottle fruit. It just says it's Toscana, but this is contains 80% of Sangiovese, the grape that you like, with 20% Cabernet Sauvignon. We also have the same wine at the same affordable price, which is a lot less than a Chianti Classico is going to cost you. This is something like $10.99 a bottle, and it's delicious. And we also have an 80% Sangiovese made by Fernando Catani and Giovanni? Is it Giovanni? Is it Giovanni? Yeah, Giovanni, Giovanno. I get confused with my time, but either way, the son of Giovanni Catani also is part of that family that makes a wine with 20% Merlot instead of 20% Cabernet. But you still have more, probably Sangiovese, than you do in a Chianti, and lesser price, and that's the grape you're chasing. If you're going to Tuscany, for most parts, except for regions like Bulgari and Maremma, you're looking where they put a lot of, or Super Tuscans might be a lot of Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot and Syrah. You're looking basically in the whole Tuscan area. The major grape is Sangiovese on the red side, but people keep asking for only a Chianti. and yet that's the grape. And only 70% required in a base level Chianti that's DOCG, not a Chianti Classico. And you can maybe get more like 80% Chianti for $10.99. Or a producer of Brunello di Montalcino like La Giurla. Always lots of bottles clinging around because I don't have a camera person. La Giurla makes Sangiovese Grosso, which is used in Brunello di Montalcino, again in Tuscany. And then their Rosso di Montalcino is 100% Sangiovese Grosso as well, allowed by law. But maybe you should buy that if you're looking instead of a Chianti, or just a Toscana, because the Poggio Gliangeli, which is in the same community where they get their Sangiovese Grosso used for their Brunello and their Rosso di Montalcino. This hasn't been documented as a commune yet. Eventually will go in, but it's 100% Sangiovese Grosso for $16.99. You can get a Sangiovese that will probably be more of the taste you want, 100%, and for less money than you would buy a Chianti Classico. So what you're looking for really is a Sangiovese or a Tuscan Red, and not just thinking I only know Chianti, because you don't have any fava beans and you're not Anthony Hopkins or Hannibal Lecter. Also, a beautiful Super Tuscan like this from Bruno Baroncini. This is Fulgente. It's a Toscana Rosso from the Maremma area in the town of Suveretto. This is like got a zillion grapes, Chilagiolo, it's got Montepulciano, but it's got some Sangiovese for $24.99. This is one of the most interesting complex layered wine that you can get, but instead of a Chianti Classico, now you can have all those grapes mixed in, but really well made, and a Super Tuscan, they would call this, a Toscana Red. But there's gonna be some Sangiovese in here as well, because that's what Tuscany's about. So, capiche? We understand? I know Giovanni is going to kill me because I get confused with Giovanna Tantini. Giovanna for girl, Giovanni for a man. Gio. Let's just call them both Gia and Gio. Either way. All right. But yeah, that's from La Colonica. I'm sorry, Giovanni, if you're watching, or Gio. But I hope that doesn't mean I can't drive your Porsche if I come to Italy. He's got these great Fiats. He's got great sports cars all the time. But anyway, so the brands that you see from California in the jugs and those wines, those 3-liter bottles or the big bottle, if they're Chianti DOCG, that's going to be one thing. And there are large bottles of Chianti and big bottles, 1.5 liters. But the 3 liters from California, there is no California Chianti. Just like with the Burgundies, we talked about that before. Go to Italy and maybe you say, well, I like 3 liters of wine. I don't even know what they put in that. It's just calling it Chianti, named after a region. It is not a specific wine. And there's many ways that you can get that grape Sangiovese, as I demonstrated. In any Tuscan Red is going to be, for the most part, the main grape in there is going to be Sangiovese, and you don't have to spend $24 or $30 or $44 for Brunello. You can, but even a Brunello is more interesting to me than a Chianti. It's the highest level that you can get. When I think of Sangiovese, I think of Brunello di Montalcino. So ask for a Tuscan Red, not just Chianti, is my message. For further grapes, you can look by grape on our website. Just look up every Sangiovese wine that we have. And you could do that by going to abcfws.com or contact me via my blog, and just by following right there where it says follow this blog, put your email address. You'll get tons of ways to contact me. Remember that wine is not for snobs. It's for everyday people like you and me, and people who just don't want Chianti, but want a Sangiovese from Tuscany. See you soon. Ciao.